Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alchemisted, and this is once again Star Trek Online, Rise of the Red Shirt. And this time, I believe we're going to be taking on Hunting the Hunters. See if it agrees with me. Yes. Let's see. Prepare to strike. Hunting the Hunters, yes. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's see. Predators from the... No, haven't read it yet. Predators from the distant Delta Quadrant have staked out territory in the Molasses system. So, what the hell are the Herosian doing here? Okay. So, there is this character named Sayla, and I'm not going into Sayla's backstory because this is going to be convoluted as it is. Let's just say Sayla's backstory, she's one of the more complicated characters in Trek lore. You know, she's one of those characters whose pure existence is kind of in defiance of the laws of time travel, you know? Yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, it's... Maybe not the laws of time travel. I'm just sure what words I'm looking for here. Like I said, this character has a really complicated backstory. But she got kicked out of the Romulan Empire. And then bad shit happened, and she ended up coming back with the Herosian in tow. She had been exiled across the galaxy, basically, and she came back with this hunter species, who have I talked about them? I don't know if I've talked about them before or not, but they're essentially Predator. Like the Herosian as a species, they're essentially the Predators from Predator. You know, that's what they are. They're hunters. They live. Their entire culture revolves around hunting things for sport. You know, that's it. That's pretty much all you need to know to understand who the Herosian are and what they're about. She comes back and she brings the Herosian with her, and she ends up taking over the Romulan Senate, and the Herosian remain allied with her because she gave them essentially free reign to hunt whatever they wanted within her territory. So now the Herosian are using Romulan space as essentially one big game preserve to just hunt whatever the fuck they feel like. And that's where we are. Alright. Molasses system. Where is the... Can I see where the galaxy map? Where is the Molasses system? It doesn't say. Worst map ever. Alright. Replay. A runabout carrying a Federation diplomatic team is missing. Its last transmissions put it in the area of the Molasses system. There are several M and L class planets that the team could survive on if they were forced to land. These are civilian diplomats without any emergency training. If there are survivors, we need to find them as soon as possible. The Federation Diplomatic Service specifically requested the USS Woglinde for this assignment, Admiral. You are making quite a name for yourself. Well, you know, I did save the galaxy from the Borg like 50 times. It's probably got part of it. It's probably part of it, yeah. Anyways, so your reward are hyper impulse engines and combat impulse engines, and except for the general stats that go with hyper impulse and combat impulse, they're pretty much the same thing. The hyper impulse has a speed modifier on it, but it actually goes a bit slower than the combat impulse. It seems strange. That might have something to do with power levels, though. So, I've said before, if you're a cruiser or a larger ship that tends to divert energy away from weapons, you want combat impulse engines, because you can keep your power levels set low and you'll get bonus energy, so your engine power will kind of even out even if you diverted energy to other systems. Hyper impulse engines are for those ships that specifically are designed to take advantage of speed, and they will give you bonus power if your engine power is set high, which I always felt was kind of a waste of time. But then again, I'm one of those players who likes playing like the big ships of the line, so I tend to go with combat impulse engines. Combat impulse engines are a cruiser's best friend. I am strongly in favor of combat impulse engines no matter what ship type you're playing as, though. Combat, you can't go wrong with combat impulse. Except, so we're heading to the molasses system. Hunting the hunters. Alright, let's get going. Captain, Starfleet has lost contact with a shuttle transporting a diplomatic team to the radar system. The last transmission from the shuttle originated in the molasses system, and we've tracked the signal to this location. Sir, I'm detecting Hirogen ships up ahead, but I'm also picking up a faint distress signal. It might be the shuttle. Recommend we investigate. Perhaps the Hirogen will know more about the signal. Hey, do you know about a signal? I'm looking for a crashed shuttle. Oh, okay. It's gonna be one of those days. Didn't have to end like this. So, before I continue, I'd like to call your attention to that. New loot containers are in this game now. That was a close one. Captain, I have a lock on the distress signal. It's definitely Federation in origin, but I couldn't determine its location until after we encountered the Hirogen. Something doesn't seem right here, sir. But we have to do whatever we can to find the shuttle and the diplomatic team. So yeah, new loot containers. They are actually color-coded. So this is a green container, so it is going to be an item of uncommon rarity. So let's check it out. Take items. Tactical anti-proton mag regulator. It's completely useless for me, but I'll sell it and I'll make some E-credits. Which are even more worthless now. They lower the cost. Well, while I appreciate that, like lowering down the cost to customize your ship and what have you, and the cost to change your clothes in the tailor, you know, it's kind of like they were really struggling for a long time to find a way to make a really good sink for energy credits, and lowering the cost of things so you can have more energy credits to have to sink. You know, it feels kind of like a step backward. So where be that beacon? You may have also noticed that the shields on the Woglinde were not quite holding up as well as they used to. There's a reason for that, and that's something I'm going to talk about later, because if I start going on about it, you know me, I won't stop. Sir, the distress beacon is... Captain, Hirogen attack vessels have warped in and are powering up weapons. Prepare for combat. Yeah. You'd think at this point they would figure out that ambushing the Woglinde is a really, really, really bad idea. That it? That's it. That's all you got. You ain't got no more. That beacon was clearly a decoy, and we fell for it. This whole thing feels like a setup, sir. I'm scanning the surface of the planet to learn more. Life signs detected. Captain, I'm picking up the remains of the shuttle and several survivors, but something is blocking their signals. I can't get a good transporter lock on them. The away team is ready to launch a rescue mission at your command. Be careful, sir. The erosion may be using the survivors as bait. That's pretty definite. Also hazard team. Damn it! Somebody! I wish you had an option to name your away team. Chug. That was random. Ship sensors didn't detect any force fields on the planet's surface before we beamed down, sir. Someone must have activated them in the last few seconds. Captain, I'm picking up communications devices dead ahead. It's broadcasting. Greetings, Captain. Oh, sorry. Greetings, Captain. I am Tangen, and this is my hunt. Before being determined worthy, you will complete a series of trials. Should you survive, you will have the privilege of being my prey. To ensure your cooperation, the weak and unworthy diplomats you seek are being guarded by my hunters. Should you try to escape or cheat in any way, the hunters will kill them. When you are ready to begin your trial, activate the device in front of you. Captain, I think we're going to have to play their game if we want to rescue the diplomatic team. We need to find a way to pass their tests. I got a way right here. Well, right here. Okay, you want a test? I got a test. I got your test right here. Come on. There we go. Get off my grill. Oh, you want it. Oh, hey. Here's another one of those loot containers. This is common. And it's a power cell. Joy. Oh, what do we have here? It's another common drop. Shield charge. So, gonna be one more group beaming in, I think. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Okay, I guess not. Okay. Captain, these devices do more than transport us to other areas. They also control the force fields. I need to gather more data on how they work, but I think if we keep using them, I may be able to find a way to reverse the shield emitters and make these devices work for us. Alright. That's something we can do. I just know they're gonna beam in like jerks. Yeah. That's right. So, no way is that it. Cat food. What the hell was this erosion doing with cat food? That can't be it. I have the preliminary scans of the devices. One more activation should give us the information we need. Alright. Well, at least they were nice enough to beam in before I was right on top of them this time. Ruined! Shit was ruined! Oh. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Tea. Why is one of them drinking Earl Grey? I have what we need, sir. If we align the spatial distortion circuits, we can disable this device. Try saying that 3 times fast. There's a small chance that the other force fields will drop as well, so be on your guard. If things go as planned, the guards holding the diplomatic team won't become aware of our escape. Either way, we will need to move quickly. We must subdue the guards here before they can alert the other Herosian or harm the diplomats. Alright. Hey, isn't there supposed to be a force field there? Ow! Yeah, I think after getting repeatedly handed their asses by Voyager, you'd think they'd figure out that a Galaxy-class starship was not something they probably wanted to screw with. Oh, it's larger game. Oh, yes. Whatever. Whoever takes down a Galaxy-class starship will earn ridiculous amounts of acclaim. If they are not dead. Oh, this guy's got a lot of text, so let's get this over with. Untie him. Oh god, text. If you'll give me a moment of your time, I'm sure I can provide you with useful information. How were you captured? The horror of it all! We were on our way to the radar system when the Herosian appeared out of nowhere. They captured our shuttle and told us we weren't worthy of being prey, but that we would make excellent bait. Can you imagine? Honestly, the idea that we'd... My apologies, Captain. The ordeal has been quite trying. Anyway, they took control of our shuttle and crashed it into the planet. But not before taking our transponder codes and locator beacons and broadcasting distress signals across half the quadrant. Exaggerations aside, you're not the first to come here to rescue us. So far, all have failed. They either fall prey to the shielded traps or to the scores of Herosians supporting Alpha Tangent. What can you tell me about the other hostages? Excellent question. As you are no doubt aware, the so-called hostages near their force domes are complete and utter fakes. Holograms. They are merely bait for noble Samaritans like yourself. I didn't know that. No, I knew that. Yes. We knew that. Should you try to free them, you'll only be met with frustration and disappointment. Meanwhile, the real hostages are being held inside a cave next to the wrecked shuttle. However, I have learned enough from watching these Herosian to know that you can reconfigure their holo emitters to act as jamming devices. The Herosian rely on exact communication to act as a cohesive unit. Any disruption you can achieve will surely tip the scales in your favor, should you make it all the way to Tangent. Others have tried to rescue you. Oh yes, many. Apparently we make decidedly appealing bait to more than just the Federation. Romulans, Klingons, even a team of Orions tried to rescue us. Of course, I think they were going to sell us to... Oh, it's been awful. However, none have managed to best the Herosian's Alpha, Tangent, who's an idiot. Even when someone manages to disable the force fields, they always fall to the waves of hunters supporting the Alpha. We can beam you to our ship. Oh, heavens forbid. I'll leave this planet, but not until all of my comrades are safe. No one is going to say that Assistant Commissioner Peterson was the first to turn tail and run. No, sir. I will wait here until you found the rest of the hostages. Alright. Your frickin' funeral. So let's see. So yeah, there are 5? Yes. Or there should be 5. There should be like 5 holo emitter fake Starfleet officers. And of course, in the moment you try to reconfigure one of their emitters, a bunch of Herosian will beam in to attack you, so watch for that. If you're not expecting that by this point in this game, and really you should be. As you probably notice here that there are some Herosian way outside the mission area. There are in fact Herosian walking all over this map. The place crawls with Herosian, so if you were going for that accolade, this is a good place to do it. Okay. The place is lousy with them. Hey! Fuck off. Oh, okay, there's four hollow emitters you have to reconfigure. And they're all in this big area here, so you know where they are. And it's not a hard mission at all. The hardest part is really just the tests, really. Like I was about to say Tangent, but even he's not that hard at all. In fact, he's kind of ridiculous. You know, he's pretty, like, after, like, out of all the bad guys you've faced so far, Tangent... Oh, my inventory's full. Out of all the bad guys you've faced so far, Tangent really isn't crap. You know, he's nothing compared to Bavad. He's nothing compared to, the Davidians. You know, Tangent is that sort of bad guy where, you know, they would have an episode where if he was ever in an episode, basically the whole episode would consist of the... I'm trying to think of a good example. What is this? Dual heavy cannons. I don't need those. I'm trying to think of a good example. I need to organize this. Of a TV show where this character really thought they were like the greatest threat that the main characters had ever faced, and they really totally weren't, and I'm kind of coming up blank. But he's that sort of character. You know, he's the character where if Star Trek Online was a show, the main cast would basically spend the entire episode just sort of rolling their eyes at him, you know? Like, oh god, really? This guy thinks he's going to take us down? This guy? You know, he's just that sort of... He's almost a comic relief villain. You know, he's a breather villain. He really is. Chugging a little bit, but not much. Okay. Yeah. Again, you see a bunch of Herosian all over the map. Place is lousy with them, so. So now you know. That's the Runabout crash site. We want to go this way. Now that I know where the crash site is, I know where the other two are. Yeah. Two more. Do you mind? I'm reconfiguring. The other two groups had a little, you know, common decency. Not you. That's what I have this for. Hey! Hate that. The powers just will not trigger unless you spam the button. Okay. I just walked over you. Sorry, just walked over you again. Sorry. Oh, Captain Marshall. I wish I could turn those off. And this is something I wish they used more often, is the wrecked runabout. Although, this is part of the level geometry, so... It's not an actual prop, although I wish it were. Because that'd be awesome. Ah, again! With the interruptions! Okay. So what this does is, when we go to fight Tangent, he'll call a bunch of reinforcements. And basically it turns an easy fight into an even easier fight because the reinforcements won't be able to show up because we've effectively silenced his communications. Now, one would think, immediately upon discovering that your communications don't work, one would fall back to where the leader of whatever raiding party you're a part of would be. But that would be assuming the Herosian were blessed with an abundance of brains, which is something that I don't think was the case. Outsmarting the Voyager crew does not make one a genius. So yeah, there needs to be more... Like I said, though, this is part of the stage geometry. There needs to be more props like this. And there needs to be more, like, wreck shuttlecraft props. That'd be awesome. So let's go ahead and disable this force field. Easy, Lima. Release me! You're released. Now go, be free! Well, what? Thank you? You're welcome. How about showing a little bit of decorum? I think it's safe. I don't think so either. How about showing a little bit of decorum, you know, towards the senior officer? You're released. Go, be free in the wild. Or in the transporter room of my ship. All of the hostages are free, sir, and we have beamed them back to the ship. Are you ready to... Did you really think you could slip out of my trap and I wouldn't know? This was all part of my plan. Hunters, attack! Hunters! Hunters, respond! Bah! Where are they? Very well. I'll handle this myself. You pose no threat to me, little prey. Like I said, this guy is a tool. Hi! I'm going to shoot you now. I'm going to harm you. I don't think I'll stop. Oh, look, your shields are gone. Oh, I'm going to beat your ass with this. Come here. Captain, the bridge is reporting that a Herosian vessel has been detected and is trying to escape the system. It must be Tangent. We should pursue it. What? Did you not see what just happened here, Hunter? Were you not looking a second ago? I don't think they beamed Tangent out before I vaporized him. In fact, I'm pretty sure they didn't. It's cool. So Tangent is supposed to beam out, you know, like boss characters always do, so you can fight them in space. You know, like what happens over and over and over and over in this game. But yeah. I busted out my laser Lurpa and I kind of killed him before he had the chance. So yeah. I wasn't supposed to do that, but my DOF is flashing. Critical success. Holy shit. Let's see. Contraband, medium hypos, and Romulan ale. Do I have any tribbles in my inventory? No, good. I don't want them drinking my ale. Might be illegal, but it's mine. Alright, so let's go beam up and confront Tangent, or the clone of Tangent, because I just vaporized his ass. I wonder if that's what the Rosian do, because you'd think it's a culture that revolves entirely around hunting and like the thrill of the hunt and, you know, the whole warrior's way and all the kinds of stuff would have a really high mortality rate. So I wonder if they do practice cloning. I'm just gonna go with that because otherwise this just got really goofy. I know, and it's entirely my fault that it did so. I'm just too much of a badass. I vaporized him before he could beam out. He probably keeps a whole vat of clones for himself on his ship, and he just sort of... He does the same sort of thing that they did in the 6th day, you know. Whenever somebody dies, he has like his latest memories implanted into a new clone. Anyways. Captain, it appears as if Alpha Tangent is trying to hide his ship in the asteroid belt. We should pursue before he finds a way to evade us. He's not that smart, Rick. The Stalker. I wonder how many Herosian ships are named the Stalker. Considering it's a hunter culture, you know? That was really silly. I can see you! You haven't cloaked at all. Captain, he's warped away. Wait, he's back. And he's in the center of a minefield. Be careful, sir. Those mines are deadly. So yeah, here is where Tangent starts really... I was about to say getting tricky, but it's really not tricky at all. So Tangent is in the center of 2 minefields. I don't know where these minefields were or how they got there or who had time to lay them, but there they are. So if you get close to these mines, all of them will trigger and they will come after you and you will die. So you don't get close to them. You see, the problem with these mines is that the distance at which they will trigger is longer than the distance you require to fire at Tangent. So, yeah, that's kind of what he does. That's his hunter's tactic, is to set up a minefield, wait for you to ambush him, and when you refuse to fly into the minefield, rather than attempt to use tactics that would lead you into it, he decides to fly outside of the minefield he set up to protect himself. This is who we're dealing with. Captain, he has warp jumped again, and he's activated another minefield. How many of these traps does Tangent have? I don't know. The question is, how many is he going to live long enough to use? This is the boss fight. This is the big boss fight that he had to beam up from the surface so you could have. I don't know why I just hit that. Yeah. Mission's over. That was Tangent. Like I said, if this were a character on a series, the main cast would be rolling their eyes. They would just be going, this guy. You know, he would be a comic relief villain. You know, he'd show up to, like, brag about how much of a badass he was, and the rest of the cast would just be going, sure, could the others just rescue me already? Like, are you going... Like, the main cast would be going, are you going to just keep talking, or are you just going to shoot me? Like, are you going to talk, or are you going to shoot? Is shooting an option? You know, they would be like that, because this guy really is not threatening in any way, shape, or form at all. Tangent has run out of tricks, and we have the diplomatic team safely on board. Captain, I'm happy to report that no one else will be falling into this trap. But we fell into it, and that's a bit insulting in retrospect. Is that a Sao Paulo? No, but no, it's not a Sao Paulo. Let's see, it's the USS Jayhawk. Hello, Jayhawk. Let's see, who is you? Rumpf. Runip? Runip Enariv. Yeah. Alright. Let's collect our booty. Progress. Hunting the hunters. All of the members of the diplomatic team are expected to make a full recovery, Admiral. You completed your mission and survived a Herosian hunting party. Not many officers would have done as well as you did. Considering the absurdly high standard Starfleet sets for its officers, I really hope that most of them would have survived that, because this guy was not that bright, Admiral. No. Collect reward. Collected reward. And selling reward. Yes. Where am I at on credits? 927. Yeah. So that was Hunting the Hunters. Next time we're going to be doing... I'm pretty sure next time is Project Nightingale. Let's see. Saturday's Child. Hunting the Hunters. Project Nightingale. Project Nightingale is a really cool mission. I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited to get to this one because Project Nightingale has one of the only times you see one of the cooler locations in the game. Like, there's something really awesome about this, about the map this takes place on. So then we have, so after Project Nightingale, we have, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 missions in the Romulan arc proper, and then 5 more from the 5 more from the featured episode series. I don't know. I might start recording missions left and right because I really want to get out of the Romulan arc. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Most of the awesome stuff happens in Cardassian space, and that's even doubly so with the featured episode series that unfortunately got set into the storyline of the game. They set it at the very end of the Cardassian arc. I was kind of hoping that it would be at least in the middle, but no, it's after the very end, so we're not going to be seeing the 2800 for a while, which, God, it kind of sucks. I wanted to play through that, but I wanted to do it, you know, within the story progression. That's why I didn't do it while the featured episode series was running, because I wanted to do it where it was appropriate to do it in the story. So yeah, we're gonna be waiting for a while. But that was Hunting the Hunters. Now, I wanted to talk about the field generator. I might do that in a vlog. Yeah, I'll probably talk about the field generator in a vlog because we're already at the end. That was a nice straightforward mission. Let's see. I got 40 minutes. It's not that bad. 40 minutes isn't bad. So, yeah. I'm going to keep this one brief because the last episode of Rise of the Redshirt was God. And bear in mind, the last episode of Rise of the Redshirt was like an hour and 7 minutes. That was with 13 minutes removed. Like, it jump cuts close to the end. Like, that's one of the reasons why I started doing a bit more audio logs than I usually do, is because stuff like that, where I just went off on this rant about something, and I was just like going into detail discussing this, and it turned out it was already running long, but this made it this pushed it over the edge. You know, I don't want to make an episode of Rise of the Redshirt that's like an hour and 20 minutes long. So I had to cut out like 13 minutes of that. So I don't want to go on forever this time. I'll save it for an audio log. And that was Hunting the Hunters. This has been Star Trek Online Rise of the Redshirt. I'll see you guys later. So, later.